Back when I was learning English, I tried my best to devote as much time as possible to actually learning and practicing so I can, achieve the level that I wanted to achieve at the time. But you and I both know that it's not always possible. Yeah, we're busy people living busy lives, and we don't have a lot of time. So you can probably tell by the title of this video. Here's what we're talking about today. If you only have 30 minutes a day, if you manage to find 30 minutes a day, that's perfect. You don't need much more than that. So if I had just 30 minutes every day to improve my English, here is my exact plan of how I would go about it. It's simple, effective, and perfect for busy learners just like you. So let's start. You can't speak, write, understand, or use the language properly without having a really solid vocabulary base. So the first thing we're gonna do, and we're gonna spend 10 minutes on it, is vocabulary. But don't just sit there for 10 minutes trying to memorize random words. No. Here's how you can do it effectively. I also have a whole video on vocabulary, but let me just give you a few key points here. First, you want to be kind of selective. You don't have a lot of time. So you want to choose 5. Let's stick with 5. 5 high impact words. And when I say high impact words, I mean words that you can actually use. Words that have something to do with your daily life, with your work, with your interests, whatever the case may be. For example, if you're into cooking, you can learn words like ingredients and recipe. I'm not into cooking though, but I do know these words. Number 2, you want to write sentences with each word. So you will take these words and create your own sentences that have, again, something to do with your life, or they don't have to, I guess, necessarily, but make it realistic. I mean, for example, I need to buy fresh ingredients for dinner, or something like that. Writing these sentences will help you practice actually using these words in context, and real relatable context. Things that you can actually use and say in real life. And you can review with flashcards. I talked about it in my vocabulary video. You can definitely check it out. It's a pretty good one. But you can use, like Quizlet. That's my favorite one. Anki is also very good. Spaced repetition is very important because it helps you remember that vocabulary long term. By focusing on just a few but very important words, you can build a very strong vocabulary that will be very effective for you. Okay, we're done with our first 10 minutes. The next, 10 minutes is going to be your listening practice. And this is crucial for understanding native speakers and improving your pronunciation and just getting used to the flow of speech. Here's what I do. First, you want to pick a short clip. A podcast, a YouTube video, an audiobook, whatever the case may be. And you want to choose, something around anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes long that's interesting to you. That's the most important thing. You have to have this desire to listen to this or watch this, even outside of practicing your English. Then you're going to take that material and you're going to listen to it actively, which means you will, play it once without subtitles and just test your comprehension, then listen again, this time with subtitles or a transcript, and you're just gonna literally try to combine those skills. But first, always try to do it without, and then combine the skills of reading and listening at the same time, and just see how it goes, and just be very focused and very intentional with what you're doing. Then you're gonna do some shadowing, and you're gonna pause, and after each sentence, repeat it out loud, copying the speaker's pronunciation, rhythm, and delivery. This technique called shadowing is a game changer for fluency. All right, now that you're done with your listening, we are going to spend the next 5 minutes doing speaking practice. Speaking is the skill that most learners really want, but also tend to avoid, which doesn't make sense, but oh well, we're not here to try to understand it. We're here to try to improve, right? So even 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Trust me. First, you can talk about your day. Just describe what you did or, plan to do. For example, this morning I woke up at 7 and had breakfast. It was so early and I was so tired, but I still went to the gym anyway. Because I need to blah, 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 whatever. And make sure you record yourself. I know it can be very cringy, and you could be, slightly embarrassed I get it. It's very important because you can listen back to yourself, you know, later on, the next day, next week, and really pinpoint and identify those areas where you can improve. And if you had a hard time saying something, you can find a way to say it and you will remember it much quicker. Also, it's a great way to track your progress. Imagine going back to, I don't know, 4 months ago and listening to yourself. How fascinating would that be? You can be like, wow, I was so different and I'm so much better now. It helps. It helps your confidence. And of course, you can practice with a friend or an app if you want. If you have a language partner or a friend who's learning English, or you know, there are so many different apps for this stuff. Like one that comes to mind is HelloTalk, italki, and you can talk to AI too. I talk to ChatGPT sometimes when I'm bored and lonely. Now that we're done with speaking, the remaining 5 minutes of your time, you will spend doing some grammar and writing. Don't overcomplicate it. Just focus on one grammar point, just one rule at a time, right? So you just pick one grammar point. For example, you want to learn how to use, I don't know, the present perfect. That's a pretty typical example. So you will write a few sentences like, I've never been to Paris. I've been to South Korea 10 times, or, you know, whatever. Something that's real and applicable to you once again. You don't want to just make up stories that are not real. You want to make sure you start creating those connections, you know, from the language to your real life and back. And once you're done with your sentences, use the remaining time to, you know, take this grammar point, this grammar rule again, and write a short paragraph. But you know, this paragraph doesn't have to include this grammar point in every sentence. No, you just take inspiration from one of your sentences that you wrote, and you can start with that. I've never been to Paris, but I'd love to visit one day. I'll need to plan the trip and save money for it. I wonder how expensive it could be. I don't know, I need to do some research. Whatever. And this is the breakdown of your 30 minutes every day. And it's pretty good. And even if you have only 30 minutes, that's enough. You can make some real progress just with this. And if you're ready to take this plan to the next level, I would like to invite you to my online course, From Intermediate to Advanced. It's designed to help busy learners just like you maximize their time with step-by-step lessons, interactive exercises, and real-world vocabulary and grammar, and just a really fun educational experience. You'll also join a community of motivated learners to practice with and grow with. Check the link in the description and make your 30 minutes count. Remember, improving your English does not require hours of studying. No, that sometimes could make it worse, honestly. With just 30 minutes every day and the right plan, you can make some real progress. Now, let me know in the comments, which part of the plan are you most excited to try? I really want to know. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give this video a quick thumbs up if you liked it, because it really helps. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I don't know why. Hit that subscribe button, join the community, and also hit that notification bell to be alerted every time I post a new video. This has been English with Venya, a channel where we level up and never look back. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. See you in the next one. Bye.